guys, welcome back to my channel. It's G from Happiness and Crafting. So, Shabby Saturday. So, again, I'm going to be making some flowers. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's G from Happiness and Crafting. So, a Shabby Saturday video. I thought we would make some flowers today for a change. As you know, I do love flowers, and the reason I started making these, I needed some flowers anyway, but I purchased these off Timo ages and ages ago, and they're like little sort of organza petals, and these they're for sort of like wedding tables and stuff where you sprinkle them around, but I just love them because I thought maybe we could make some flowers with them, and that's what I'm doing today. So let me just leave these ones out because I'll use those as well. And I also made some with my tool. So this is like the creamy tool, and then this is my lovely pinky tool, which is beautiful. And also I cut out some little circles. I'll show you what I how I do that in a second. But this is more of a sort of like a mass make because I'm just loving these. So this is the little petals. These are a little bit harder. So I've got little pearls in there, and I've got little beads inside, which are just really, really pretty. And they're lovely to go on a journal. And because I've got tiny little beads in there, they go quite flat. So if you put them in a journal, they will go flat and not make it too bulky, which is really lovely. Well, it depends really on the beads you put inside. This one's got like a little tiny flower bead in there and some little pearls, but they are really, really are so pretty, and I think they're really delicate and feminine. And these ones are really soft because I'm using the soft tool. This is a mixture between the pink and the sort of like the creamy colour. I did put some in this one. I put some little sequins in there, but that got really fiddly, so I gave that one a miss. I just did one. That was a bit too fiddly. I just wanted them to be quite quick to do, but they are really, really nice. So I thought I'd show you how I do that today. Quite simple. I'll put those to the side for a second. Now I've got some tulle. I hope you can see with this mat underneath. I've got a little bit of tulle. Let me just straighten that up off my desk. So I've just cut a little section off my big piece, and all I'm doing is folding it up like that. I'm not too worried how straight they are like that. They don't have to be round because you've probably all done this before. We're going to round them off. We're going to round them off. We're not going to round them off. We are going to just use a little candle and just melt around it. Now, I haven't done that very well at all. I'm going to do that again because else I'm going to waste too much. So let's just put this together. I'm going to do this off my table just so that I can actually see what I'm doing. Okay, so I've got that levelish as much as I can, and I don't want them too big, so again you could just cut a little circle out of there and have bigger ones, but I like the little ones. So I'm going to fold that in half again. I'm going to take my big scissors. Now you could probably get two lots out of it if you wanted them quite small. Where's my little pegs? I'm going to just take a peg and just peg that like that, and then I will just peg one if I can on this side. This is a bit fiddly, so this is why I'm thinking these are just perfect to do it. You can get them in all sorts of different colours as well. I'm going to just cut this in half like that, and then I'm going to just take that off, cut a circle. It can be a jaggedy old circle. It doesn't have to be because we're sort of melting the edges of them. They sort of wrinkle up anyway, so it doesn't really matter. There we go. And then we've got these little circles like this. So I'm sure, well, they're not quite circles, they're a bit sort of all over the shape. Funny old shape. Keep these bits because you can use that to stuff something. Josh, I maybe make little hearts or something. You can use that to stuff it. So I'm going to pop that to the side. And then I will show you. I'll pop that one. We don't need those ones yet. And then I'm taking a little candle. Make sure you've got like a little pot. This is just one of my little hearts I made. So I'm just taking a candle. I like the candle. This is a lovely sandalwood candle, so it's quite nice to have something that's a bit smelly. Now, that's how you cut them up. I'm not going to do those because you can't see it, because they're clear. So I'm just going to use these ones to show you what I do. And I know you've all probably seen it all before. I'm going to take my little tweezers, and then just don't go on the flame, but can you see how it just melts it? So just be very, very careful, and you can see, look, it just wrinkles it all up like that. Take another one, and then just hold that over, and it just heats that up and just sort of like melts it. And you can only do this with synthetic fabrics. So you might have some synthetic fabric somewhere, like some tulle or organza. And that's what works the best. Cotton obviously is not going to do that, but don't hold it right close. You've got to be really careful, because we don't want you to burn yourself. Hold it in a pair of tweezers, and then just melt it. So that just melts and gives you a lovely sort of wrinkly effect. We like the wrinkly word. So there we go. Just hold that over. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. Blow that out, because we don't need that anymore. So I'm going to pop those to the side. So these are just so simple to do. So I'm going to use, and I've got two different threads here. Now I don't want to see the thread, because obviously this is organza and it's pretty see-through, and if you have sort of like thread on it, you'll be able to see it, the cotton. So I'm using a nylon thread. This is a cheap nylon thread, and it's a bit of a nightmare to work with, because it does tangle. But I do use this one. I use this one a lot, and it's really, really lovely. It's probably, there's 55 yards or 50 meters on here, and I pay €7 for one of these. But I love it, and it's so nice to work with. I'm going to use the cheaper one to start with, because I've threaded 2 of these, because I'm a bit of a nightmare on threading. So what I'm going to do with these, I'm going to take probably 4 or 5 and just pop them on top of each other. Oh, we don't want the little bit. Can you see it? Because it goes like sort of puffy. Pop that on top of each other, and all I'm going to do is start from the back and just sew it together. Oh, it's just so easy. And it's one of those that, if I'm going to make them, I might as well make a whole big bunch of them, instead of making a couple. So I'm going to go through that a couple of times, like that. And then I'm going to take another one, and then I'm just going to put my needle through it, because I want one in the middle. And I'm just going to wrinkle it all up, like that. As we do, we like a bit of wrinkling. Pop that through there, and that just pulls it, so you've got like a middle of the flower, and it's not sort of flat in the middle. Then pop that back through, and then I'm just going to add some beads. So I've got lots of different beads. These are the little flowers I got, but because these are so small, I found it really hard to find a tiny bead to go in the middle of them. And I did have some of these little seed beads, which are quite small, but they're still a little bit too big. So all I'm going to go for is the little pearls. These are tiny little pearls, and they're just beautiful. So I'm just putting in 3 little pearls. Again, you can do as many pearls as you like, but I think 3 is just enough. Pop that down through. Like that. Back up. Oopsie daisy. Back up through like that. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to just go through that middle bead, if I can grab it. Through the middle bead, and then back down again, and it gives you like a little, that little cluster, which looks really good. Oops. Which way have I gone? There we go. And then back up through, and then you can go back through the beads if you want to as well. So pop in anything that you've got. stick them in. You don't have to sew it in, you could stick them together. But I'm in on a bit of a sewing phase at the moment, so that's why I'm sewing them in. And how simple is that? Doesn't that look so pretty? It's so, so lovely. I just caught that little leaf under there, or the little petal. So then I'm just going to finish it off at the back, like that. Through that, you probably can't see this thread, can you? But it's so much nicer to use clear nylon thread than seeing sort of like cotton thread in it. Look at that, and how quick and simple, and just a little pearl on there. I think it just looks so pretty on there, really, really pretty. So I'm going to do a couple more. Let's just make, this is a bit of a nightmare to make the little knot at the end, because it's a thread that's got a mind of its own, and it just sort of like sort of wraps around everything. Look, sort of cut the end off. Then I have to sort of get my little hoover. I've got a little table hoover. This is what, look how dusty it is. I use my little hoover to just get out the little bits of thread and everything. So just put a couple on top of each other, like that. Go through. Again, you can mix and match the colours on them. Pop different things in. But I thought we'd have a nice easy, a nice simple one today for Shabby Saturday. I did miss last week's because it was Easter. And we've had such a busy week. Oh, did you see the Friday Freebie video with Andy and myself? Oh, we had such fun doing that. We do have lots of giggles when we do it together. I keep saying we must do it more often, but time goes so quickly that we forget. We get all sort of like he's doing other things. So it's nice to catch him now and again to do the videos. But we're going to try and do it at least once a month, which will be fun. Because he's such a good sport doing it. He really is. And he doesn't care. He gives anything a go. So yeah, we do have fun and giggles. We have fun and giggles anyway, not even when we're videoing. We're always laughing, which is a good thing, isn't it? Always got to have a good laugh. He went out to lunch today. Sometimes I go with him and sometimes I don't. We didn't go for our Friday meal because it was awful weather. And because we sit outside, because we take Jess, we sit outside. It's, you know, it's not worth it if it's grotty weather. I really don't fancy sort of sitting outside. I shall wait until the sun comes out again. It's a little bit out today, but I didn't go with him today. He took Jessie. He takes Jessie and she has a sausage. But she loves to go out. She sits by the door if he goes out without her. As much as say, you know, how rude, not taking me with you. So let's just wrap that around. Not quite sure how many videos we're going to get done this week because I've got plans to sort of like go out this week. It's my birthday on Thursday. Look at that. That's lovely, isn't it? And it was my mum's birthday or the day before mine. So my mum was on the 15th and mine was on the 16th. So it's a bit of a hard time for me sometimes, you know, when she's not here. And because we always spent our birthdays together. I know she's not been with us for like 3 years, but it still brings back memories, doesn't it? So I'm not quite sure whether we're going to go out and sort of like do something this week. But we shall see. So I'm going to do it with a creamy tulle now. So I'm just going to layer those up like I did the other ones. And these ones are really, really soft. So where's my cotton? I didn't put a knot in this, did I? So yes, I'm not quite sure how many videos I'll get done this week. We normally sort of like go out, we will probably pop to the garden centre like we do and pick up a little flower or a little plant, go and have some lunch somewhere. So fingers crossed we'll have a nice weather. Go and do something, not quite sure. I think we'll probably go out to dinner for my birthday. Just go out and, God, sounds like we just go out and eat all the time, doesn't it? But maybe we'll go for a nice walk on the beach, because Jessie won't be allowed on the beach soon because they stop the dogs going on the beach. It's sort of like the middle of April. Right, how many have I got in here? I've got four little ones. These are a little bit bigger, so I'm just gonna again just go up and down just to catch that. And then I'm going to take another one. I've got a smaller one. It's a sort of funny shaped one. And again, I'm just going to take this and just go all willy-nilly around there and pop that back down through, just so we've got like a little bunch inside like that, just so it's not so flat. And then I will take some pearls. Little pearls on there. See, these are tiny ones. All of these things really is I've got from Temu actually. I'm going to put 5 on this one because it's a little bit bigger. There we go. Pop that down. Pop that down. I'm not quite sure whether that's the middle. Not really, but like that. Go through sort of the middle one again and then bring it back down, and it sort of, you know, holds them all down in a little ring. Back up and back down. Nice and simple. And you've got, look, pretty little flower that would just sit on a journal page. I'm going to just take that and just sew the bottom like that through. So nice and quick and easy these are. And again, it's quite a nice one if you want to sit in front of your TV or something, or just like a little sort of bit of a no-brainer one. Quite a nice simple project without having too many bits and pieces everywhere. Look how pretty. It's just so lovely. And they're really nice to have in your stash. It's like this little one I've got here in my jar, and they're just nice to just embellish things. Just I mean, a little bit with a little bit of cheesecloth on there. Pop it on the top of this jar that we did. This was my little needle book that I made, but you could sort of like put them on there so you can see what it looks like on a little journal front. You could have sort of like a little cluster of flowers. These are, that's quite nice actually, isn't it, with the little shiny sequins in the inside. But they are really nice. Now this is the other thread. I'm going to just use one strand of this. I'm not going to double it over, because doubling it over, obviously you use more, and this is quite expensive for the little roll. So I'm just going to, oh, I don't need to take all of those, so I'm going to just do this like that. I also got, we had to go out. When did we go out? I think it was the beginning of this week. I'm going to do 5 of those. I might even do 6 actually. We had to go out and change over our electricity. So we did that on Monday because our electricity bill with the company we got at the moment is astronomical. And apparently it's the most expensive one that they got actually in Portugal at the moment, so we've changed ours over. So fingers crossed that we will have, it will be a little bit cheaper than it is at the moment. Bills are really expensive. I know that we're here at home all the time, so our electricity bill, you know, is going to be a little bit more expensive than if anybody sort of like goes out to work. You know what I mean? If you're not here all day, you don't use up so much electricity, but because we're here all day long, you know, we do use a little bit more than average. So we did that. I don't know where I was going with that now. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, I got some ribbon, some organza ribbon. Oh look, where is it? This one. This, look how pretty those colours are. They're just gorgeous. This was €1.75 and you get 43 metres in here. So that's a huge amount. There's a little sort of Chinese shop near the electricity shop. It's the other side of Albufeira, and we don't normally go that end. Look at that colour, that's so pretty. So we don't normally go there, and I remember that they have some really pretty ribbon in there. They didn't have as much, but they had those two colours, and I just thought, and then I made a little flower, look. My little one, like I do my seam binding ones. They just come out so pretty. So that's the seam binding one. But I just love flowers. I do love making little flowers. So let's do that. What else was I going to say? I can't remember what else. I think I'm just, oh, shall I show you actually in this one? The little flowers. Oh, the other thing I was going to say, you can have little bits like this to go in there. So if you've got these sort of like little middle bits, like these little things, I mean, you can obviously stick a little flat back pearls or any little flat back thingy-majiggy. You could just sort of glue gun it in or something like that, which would look really pretty as well. But I'm just sort of like sewing. I got these as well. Look at those. Aren't they just lovely? I put that on the front of my journal actually, one of those. But yeah, what else have I got in here? I've got these ones in here as well. I do like looking through all these lovely little bits. There's a smaller one there. And then I've got bigger ones, but obviously these are better for bigger flowers, aren't they? Little hearts and things. But yeah, just use any little flat backy pearly things that you've got to pop in there. If you don't want to sew, you can, oh my gosh, where's the end of the needle gone? Oh, there it is. So yeah, quite simply, just stick them together. You don't have to sew them together, but like I said, I was going to do a little bit of sewing. Let's pop you over there before I knock you over. I'm going to open these up. So these, can you see these? I have shown these to you before. So I'm going to take a little pink one, if I can. Let's take a little pink one on there. Then I'm going to try and get a little, just a sort of like a little tiny little sequin on that, not sequin, seed bead. Pop that in there and then go back down through like that. Do you know what I mean? That with just one little flower in would look pretty, wouldn't it? And go back up. I mean, this is a nice little thing to do. Like I say, if you just want to sort of sit here, this is almost like a little Lost Mojo one. I think I will put 3 little flowers in there. Let's take a tiny little one of these. Sometimes you just want to sort of sit and make something, but something nice and quiet. Some days it's quite nice to just not get messy, but just do something a little bit pretty with some little flowers. Let's take a little one there. See, I could do with some seed beads which were even smaller than this for the middle of these flowers. There we go. Oh, that's so pretty. I'm going to just do the back like that. This is the cotton that I like to use because it's really nice. It's got sort of like strands in it, but it's lovely. It's really, really lovely cotton. Nylon. It's nylon. I think it's a nylon. Yeah, it's 100% nylon, but it's got sort of like lots of threads in there. I'll link it underneath. I've linked it before anyway. Look at that. Isn't that just pretty? So, so pretty. So delicate. I think that's just so dainty as well. Let's make a knot in the end of this one, if I can. Go. I haven't done a huge amount to my little fabric journal either that I'm making. I don't know where the time's gone, guys. I really, really don't. Do things and then suddenly it's like it's Saturday again, and it's Saturday today, and I'm making my video today for tonight. So let's just use these ones up. So yes, I'm a bit sort of behind, but I don't mind. We just sort of tiddle through the day. We do what we can when we can. I think that's what life is. I think we sort of tend to live in our own little bubble. Don't know whether you guys are the same. Do you live in your own little bubble and sort of like just get on with your life? Because I think when you get involved with too much, we don't need the stress, do we, of things. So we do tend to sort of, I think that's why, you know, I've told you before, I don't go out much. Not if I can help it. I sound like I did, I have said this before, because I sound really boring, but I'd rather be in my little happy place, in my art room, and my craft room. That's what makes me happy. There we go. And now that the sun is coming out, it's a bit grotty today, but we will start having a few more barbecues in the garden, which will be nice. There we go. See how lovely these are to make. I didn't put a little extra one in the middle of this one because I run out of these ones. I'm just going to go up and down a few more times. There we go. Nice and simple. You can see this thread a little bit more than you can the actual nylon one, the clear nylon one. I think this one isn't as clear because it's got a few threads in it, but it's very, very strong. Oh, look at that. Aren't they just lovely? You know, I'm going to end up knocking these beads off, aren't I? But I could just carry on, or I am going to carry on and just keep making these. Pop a couple of knots in the bottom, like that. Oh, that was a bit tiny. Don't know whether that's going to work. Let's see. Does that go in? There we go. Chop that a little bit off. So guys, what you've been up to? Have you had a busy week? Have you had a nice busy week? Doing anything? Been anywhere? Up to anything? What we got to do? What have I got to do? We'll go out this week somewhere. We'll go and do a few bits and pieces. I'm going to do different colours on this one. Well, not different colours, but I'm going to sort of like mix and match these ones. A couple of the little creamy ones at the bottom and the pinky one inside. There we go. What do you guys normally do on your birthdays? Do you celebrate? Some people don't really celebrate very much, do they? But I like to sort of do something. Not that I like to celebrate getting older, but I really don't mind. Another year wiser, isn't it? So So I'm just going to just wronkly like I did in this one, pop that through like that. Yeah, do you celebrate? Do you go out and eat? Do your family come round? Do you anything exciting? Are you going on holiday? Any holidays booked? Anybody coming to Portugal? Come and see me. That would be nice. My daughter's coming down. They've got another, or the girls have got another little gymnastics competition on Sunday, and Sunday is my son-in-law's birthday as well, so he's quite excited to go and see his girls in their competition. They've got to get up really early in the morning, Sunday morning. It's not that far away, but it's probably only about 40 minutes to an hour away they've got to go. But, you know, they've got to leave at like 7 o'clock in the morning. So it's my son-in-law's birthday that day. And Olivia was quite concerned because, you know, it's too early. Will Daddy be able to open up his presents before we go? So she's quite concerned that he's not going to be able to have time to open his presents up. But we'll probably do something when they come home. So yes, they're quite excited about their little competition. Olivia got third, came third last time, but she wasn't very impressed because she didn't like the bronze medal. She wanted the nice shiny one. Bless her. So my daughter said, you'll have to, you know, try a bit harder this time and maybe you'll get another medal. So we shall see how well they do. Sophia's in the little class, you know, she's the youngest, so they all actually get a medal on hers. But yes, this is why it's you know, I would love to go and see them, but you know, it's quite a trek to drive sort of 9 hours, you know, to get that far to go and see them. But one day we will be able to drive up there and see them. It's too much for Jessie to go now, she's a bit too old. But the girls are coming down. They're coming down for the summer, which is lovely. So they will be here for the whole of the summer, which is lovely. Can't wait if it's like that. It's a shame because my son can't make it this year. He's just moved with his girlfriend, so he can't really afford to come over this year. They got lots of things that they need to do, so my daughter was a little disappointed actually, because we had such fun and the girls absolutely loved it when he was here last year. But, you know, things happen, don't they? So maybe next year we can all meet up again. Or maybe at Christmas, we shall see. Oh, have I just got that caught in there when I... See, he's talking. It's all my yakka in. I'll pull that one in. Oh, it's just gone. It's just gone all the way through. My knot's not really big enough. This is because it's netting. It sort of like goes through the holes. So this is why sometimes it's obviously better to do. Maybe I just tie a little knot in the back so it doesn't go all the way through. Like that. Yes, this is a nice relaxing one, guys. This is really nice and relaxing to do. Again, you don't have to do it with tulle, or if you don't have any organza or anything like that, you can do it with, you know, just sew some fabricy bits together. I'm going to cut that long bit off. Where's that end? Oh, I haven't done a very good job on this one. It's all over the place. I think I've got it upside down as well. Never mind. Never mind. We shall fix it. Let's pop that up. I think I need a few. I think this one needs to be a bit thicker actually. Let's just... I'm gonna put them all on. I'm not doing a very good job. That one's quite small. Let's just layer these up like that. I've got a whole load more, so I could actually, you know what I mean? You don't have to put them on top of each other. You can sort of like stagger them around, you know, so it makes your flower a little bit bigger. Let's do a bit of that so it's not so flat. Let's take this one, just pull these out a little bit, so a little bit further out. There we go. Nice little messy flower. Put that through. Oops. Going to, oh look, we've got another little one there. This little bit, we can just scrunch up and pop through the middle. So then we've got that the little scrunchy bit in the middle like that. Lovely. Yeah, these look so pretty on journals because they're nice and soft. They go quite flat, so they're not going to make it bulky in your journal. I'm going to put a few on here, maybe 6 or 7 little pearl beads. Oopsie daisy. On there. So how many is that? 2, 4, oops, 7. There we go. I know this one's not the easiest for you to see. We do because it's sort of a creamy colour. Let's just go down through. Again, you don't have to have these lying flat. You're going to have them sort of like sticking up. It doesn't really matter. Depending where you're going to put it. Do you know what I mean? These are all nice. If you're going to have it on a jar or something like that, these can be, oh my gosh, I'm trying to get through that middle one. Do you know what I mean? This middle bit can be sort of sticking up a little bit more. But in journals, you want them to be a little bit flatter. There we go. Pop that down. Let's go through, oops, there we go, through there. Just sort of pin it down. It's a good job it's a scruffy one because this is, I'm not doing it very neatly. Not very neatly at all. Look, we've got a bit of a wonk on this one. It's a bit lopsided, but that's okay. Pop that down. That means they're all little unique ones, isn't it? Go. Maybe I should add a few more because it's a bit wonky sided. Let's add a few more pearls. It's big enough to add a few more pearls in there. The beads, not the beads, the needles I'm using are beading needles. So don't forget to use a beading needle. These are the ones that I normally get. They're clover and they're really lovely. It's a size 10 and a size 13 I use. Oops, I just pinged my beads. Oh gosh. Let's put a few more on there. Like that. Put this on. Again, you can do one bead at a time if you wanted to, but I think maybe we could just, don't need to do that. We can just put them all in. Look, we've got a nice little cluster of beads in there now. That looks really nice. Oops. There we go. Pop that down. There we go, look at that little one. Just the prettiest. Oh, so pretty. Like that. Ouch. Stab at myself. There we go. Pop that in my little in my little, what's it called? Look at that, it's a nice little scruffy one, isn't it? Lovely, lovely, lovely. Right, I'm going to do one more. Shall I do one more little pink one and then we're done? So nice little simple mess making one. Look, I've got all of these. So I've got all of these lovely little ones to pop into my stash. Oh, that's my other needle. Pop you in there. Let's just wrap this around. I think maybe tonight I should do a little bit more in my little fabric journal, shouldn't I really? Have a little relax and do a little bit of sewing. I could do with watching a really good movie. That's what I fancy doing, because it's quite kind of windy. I don't know whether you can hear the wind outside. It's really kind of windy outside. So it's sort of like one of those days where I've got lots to do. I really should do lots of things, housework and bits and pieces, but you know, I'd rather sit down and craft myself. But yeah, I feel like I should watch a nice movie. Could do this, just sit down, nice glass of wine, do a little bit of sewing, watch the telly, pop a movie on. Oh, I think that sounds like a plan actually for tonight. That's very, very tempting. Ow. Very, very tempting. Okay, let's put one of these. Again, you know, I know you guys have probably done all of these flowers before, but I do get lots of lovely new subscribers that are new to crafting. And I do lots of different sort of crafty bits and pieces, from sewing to paper crafting, to resin. I like to do lots of different things, depending on what takes my fancy for the day. These ones have got a little bit more of a shine. Can you see? They're a little bit, oops, I've got my things underneath there. A little bit different colours. These are more sort of like a pastel-y, pretty little colour, aren't they? Shall we add a few of these in? We need the sort of pinky ones really, don't we? Pinch these out. I have got my paper shredder out. I had lots of, I'm going to put 5 in there. Scrap paper from doing some fussy cutting. I had, so what I have done, I've got my paper shredder out and I shredded lots and lots. So I have got lots of paper. So as soon as the weather's nice, I'm going to attempt to make some paper. Because I'll have to do it sort of maybe outside, we'll see, which will be fun. Let's pop that in there, because I don't want to recycle it. I'd rather sort of have a go at making paper. I've got all the little bits and pieces to do it because I bought them years ago, so I should really give it a go and do that, which will be good. So another thing to add to my list. So what's your favourite craft, guys? Let me know what your favourite thing is to do. Is it, you know, just making journals? Do you just like to make journals? Have you made a journal yet? Have you not made a journal yet? Do you like, you know, all sorts? Do you like a mixture, like me? Do you like to do a bit of sort of everything, whatever takes your fancy? At the time, look at these. I love these little ones, these little flowers. I'm going to put 5 in here, like that. Let's take another one of these. Oh, let's remember to put them on upside down. Oh, don't go through. There we go. Oh, can you hear the seagulls out there? making a racket. There we go. Take that in. Pop that in. There we go. Oh, these are so lovely. And then we'll have one more. Let's just pop you in there. If you'll fit. Can you see these little tiny... I'll show you the little flowers in a minute. I'll go a bit closer. Like a little pearly one there. Gosh, they're not easy to pick up. I should really tip them out onto the little felt mat, really. But let's just put this one down. Pop that through. Oh, have I got, you're going to fit in that little hole. There we go. There we go. Let's do a few little stitches in there. Like that. Oh, I do like these. I messed up that little back bit a bit. But that's okay. That's okay. It doesn't matter. Let's just tie a little knot in there. So these can just be sewn onto a journal, they can be stuck onto a journal, make some little bits and pieces. Oh look, that's just come out, so that was lucky. That was my last little knot there. Let's turn this off, cut that off. Look at that, little scruffy, delicate little flower. Oh, so pretty. So pretty. So there we go, guys. Look, I've got a few little petals left. So this is a nice big bundle. I might in a minute just do some of these. I'll show you. Should I show you how I do that on those ones? But oh, just think they're lovely. Beautiful colours. This colour is not normally my colour. This sort of like peachy colour. But that's the only colour of these little petals that I could get. I'll link them down. I'll put the link down, so if you're a fan. But actually, looking at that one with the little sequins in, kind of like that, but it was a bit fiddly to do, and my patience wasn't there. I didn't fancy doing that, fiddling around with that, but with the little beads is hard enough to do it. But I just think they are lovely. Look at that. So I've got, this one doesn't want to stay on my hand. There you go. Oh, just so lovely. Right, let me just show you these ones, because I haven't cut these up very well. I don't hold these ones in the tweezers because they're too floppy like that. They just flop down too much. So you have to hold it in your hand like that. So you've got to be really careful when you're heating these up or melting them. But get yourself a nice smelly candle so it's nice and relaxing. Hold that, but don't hold it too close. And just go around to the edge. This is a little bit time consuming as well. So make sure you've got a nice bit of time and don't rush. There we go. Can you see? So that's just sort of like wrinkled up the little edgy bits. But you can't really see this because they're pretty, you know, clear. Can you see? Should I just come in a little fraction because it's not, that's really close, isn't it? Can you see this? Where it's just sort of melting it like that. Do you know what I mean? You don't have to get too close. That's just a little bit. We've got another piece here. Just melts it like that. Turn it round. So that just really sort of, look, got a little melty bit like that. Ouch, that's kind of hot. Well, let's go back out again. That's a bit better. So yeah, the heat of the candle, it's quite far up, and it's, you know, it melts it really quickly. So don't go anywhere near it too close. But you must use synthetic fabric. You need a synthetic fabric for it to sort of melt. But all this tulle is lovely. This is my lovely soft tulle, and it just makes such pretty flowers. I wanted some smaller ones, but obviously you can make bigger ones. I think I'm not sure whether I've done this on a video a long time ago or not. But I've made these many times, and I just think they're lovely. Look, that one's just melted away, so you know we can't have it too close. I'm going to blow this out. There we go. Nice smell of sandalwood, that is. So there we go, guys. That's our little Shabby Saturday project. Some beautiful little flowers. So these can all go into my stash. I will probably carry on making some for a bit until I decide to go down, edit my video, and then have a little sit down, glass of wine, and get on with doing my little fabric journal. But how pretty. Look, I love these little white ones as well. Aren't they just adorable? And they're really light, so they're not going to weigh down your pages or anything like that. So there we go, guys. Enough yattering for me. Got lots to say today, so lots of talking. So lovely. Thank you so much for joining me. Have an amazing evening. Are you going to sit down, watch a nice movie, have a little craft, nice glass of wine? It might be beautiful weather where you are, might be raining, but whatever it is, guys, have a fantastic rest of the day. Take care, stay safe, and I will see you soon. All right, guys, bye bye.